Hey ho, it's Tuesday, so it's weekly vlog day. Now, I committed to recording a vlog each week to keep you up to date with what's happening with the bistro and the gallery next door that I'm buying and converting, part of my bigger journey through, to moving to Scotland and renovating my mini castle. So it's one of them weeks when you're on a journey like this and you are investing in property and renovating property and creating businesses and doing all of that work. There are weeks when nothing really happens. And that's the reality. And it's not that nothing has happened. So, if I pick it apart from when I did the vlog last week, and I went round and I filmed it inside and shared some of those sneaky peeks with you of what it looks like right now. There'll be lots of photographs and images coming to you through this vlog of what it looks like right now, but not just yet because it's still being traded as a salon by the owner, Gemma. So I need to respect her business and respect her space. I can't be in and out all the time, but she has been absolutely amazing. And she's actually given me a set of keys and left them with me and told me that when she's not there, it's okay for me to go in and measure things or, change things, or get some information or take photographs, anything like that. She's given me permission to do that, which that's about the relationship that I've developed with her over the last year or so. So what happened this week that was significant was that on Friday, the independent valuers came out on Friday to value this place, the Art Bank, and the new salon, what will be the new bistro and gallery. So we needed to get property valuations for both to make sure that that can sit at the lending from the bank as assets, as security on the loan. So I am borrowing, guys, £250,000 to do this project. And I'm securing that on both of the properties, the value of both of the properties. And I don't know what those valuations are going to come back at because the last valuation that was done on the Art Bank was when it was really early days in its journey and I was looking for the bridging finance. And that was at the time, it was a wreck. There was walls down, there was ceilings down, there was dust everywhere, scaffolding up. And the valuers came to do the valuation then, and they valued the house at £220,000. Now, bearing in mind, this is a 7-bedroom house. It's now a 6-bedroom house with 3 bathrooms because I changed one of the bedrooms into a bathroom. But I've spent £250,000 on it. And I knew that that wouldn't necessarily go straight onto the value because that takes time. When you're purchasing property, you're not always going to get a return on investment if you've got a plan for that property. If you're flipping a property and you are just going in to do what's necessary in order to sell it on, then you're likely to make a profit on it and add to the value of it. With this property, this was about renovating it with love and care to get it to the standard to run a really high quality business. So the value of this property is always going to be about the business that I'm operating it from it. So it's not going to be just about what the bricks and mortar is worth. Now, I paid £165,000 for this property. I got it really cheap because it needed so much doing to it. So literally 3 months after I bought it, I got a valuation in at £220,000. And the last residential valuation that I got for this property, which was just last year, was £275,000. That's with all the work done. Now, the valuers that came out on Friday are valuing it as a going concern. So they're going to include the turnover into the valuation because that's what the bank has asked them to do, because it's an asset. And if the bank has to recover the loan and sell one of the properties to get their money back if things go pear-shaped, which sometimes happens in business, I go into these things very open-minded, with eyes wide open, because not everything works. It's down to you as the business owner to make things work. If something happens significant in your life, that can change your trajectory. The way that you are intending to go can completely transform. And I know better than anyone that life can happen. And I've gone into this eyes wide open with, you know what, it's worth rolling the dice and taking the risk. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. The asset still sits behind the loan, and the asset is double the value of the loan. So I'm always going to come out with some money still. But, you know, at the end of the day, that isn't the plan to do that. The plan is to operate successful businesses. So the valuation has been done on this as a going concern and on the salon as an existing business premises that we will be converting, change of use. So the planning applications are in, and that sits with the council as long as it takes them to do the planning applications. The valuer has been round and the valuations are being prepared for the bank. The bank will then make me the loan offer officially. And then we can start the ball rolling in terms of purchasing the property and getting dates in place. Once dates are in place, we can start planning the workload. And then I can see where we are likely to be able to launch that business and start trading it. So, I mean, there's some major work to do in terms of putting in a kitchen and putting in a new bathroom and, you know, a catering kitchen. So there is some major work to do, but everything else is pretty cosmetic, and we'll be able to do a lot of that ourselves. I'll be painting the walls white. I can go in there with my paintbrush and roller and paint the walls white. It's got a good floor down in there already that does not need to be changed. Yes, there are some new doors to go in. Yes, there's some other things that need to change, like the wall coming down around the safe. So that's quite major. And we've got to move the door where the bathroom is for the flat further down so that it can be made properly into a shower room. But those are not hugely difficult jobs. The biggest job is putting plumbing into where the treatment room is right now, to make it into a catering kitchen. So we have to put in plumbing, we have to put in gas, we have to put in air vents, and we have to put in, you know, the electrics for a canopy and for all the appliances. So there is quite significant work to happen in that space. We're also putting in a disabled toilet and baby changing room. So there's plumbing to go there, but, you know, that shouldn't be too dramatic, although these things never go as you plan. That much I've learned from here. And, you know, we've had obstacles to get over already, but it's one of those quiet weeks when all that's really happened is I've been thinking about it and the valuers have been round and done all the work to produce the valuations, and I'm waiting. So I'm waiting now. It's in that waiting space of, you know what, people are doing it on their time scales. You want them to do it on yours, but they're going to do it on theirs. That can feel frustrating. But there's nothing you can do sometimes. You can be on the phone to the bank saying, right, where are we with this? Have we got that yet? We can do that, but sometimes it doesn't make that much of a difference. I'll get to Thursday or Friday and I'll phone the bank manager and say, where are we with the valuations? You know, I'd like to get some of this sorted out. I'd like to get some things moving because I need to get the kitchen equipment supplier in to give me a proper quote for all the equipment that we need. We've had to do it over the phone and do it as estimates. So there are lots of things that need to happen that I need to press the go switch on, but you can't press the go switch until you have an official offer of a loan, until you've got things like valuations and planning permission, change of use, that sort of thing in the pipeline. So that's where I am in the quiet period while other professionals are doing work in order for me to be able to do the work next door. So it's terrifying. It's exciting. It's exhausting because I know I've got a hell of a lot of work that's going to be happening very soon. But in the meantime, this is kind of the calm before the storm. And I don't want to get too comfortable. I think that's the biggest thing I'd say to you is never get too comfortable in the period of calm, because you know it's going to change very, very soon. So that's my update on vlog 3. Hopefully I have a little bit more to share with you next week, because I want to make these vlogs interesting, exciting, and educational for you if you're thinking about going for a bricks and mortar business, or thinking about renovating a property, hopefully I'll be able to share enough that you can learn some top tips here, as well as watching my journey. But I hope you're enjoying the journey so far. Sorry for one of those boring weeks, but they're going to happen along the way, because it's not all excitement and Hollywood. Sometimes it's dust, muck, and boredom. So I will see you again next week for vlog number 4.